Welcome to the Existential Empath Podcast. My name is Tanya and I am an intuitive empath. My intention is to share valuable tips, tools, and techniques that I have learned so you can tap into your own inner healer naturally and intuitively. I've been working with some clients lately, and it appears that there seems to be some focus on the breasts. So I thought for you ladies out there, and this can be for men too, that we would talk about some of the emotions that get trapped in the breasts and how to release those emotions so that way you can move that energy through and hopefully relieve some of those physical symptoms that you may be having in that particular area. Specifically for women, we carry a lot of emotion in our breasts, and emotions that we do carry there are our worthiness and our value of ourselves. So when we are feeling like we are in a state of feeling worthless, or we are not valuing ourselves in the ways that we should value ourselves, those very heavy, dense emotions can get trapped in our breasts and in those lymph nodes around our breasts. Some of the things that we can do is to raise our value about ourselves, to feel more worthy of the things that we need in our life, feel more worthy of who we are and the value that we can provide to this world and to ourselves as well. So when we are looking at ourselves from this particular standpoint, what areas are we focusing on that we may not feel worthy in? For the women in our breasts, it could be being a mother. It could be the nurturing aspect. So when we take a look at those specific emotions, do we not feel worthy of either being a mother? Do we not feel worthy of being a daughter? Everything kind of falls into that motherly category. Maybe we are a little bit unsure of our motherly instincts. Maybe we're unsure of our own mother. Maybe we have some issues there that need to be resolved. Those are things that can get trapped in that particular area. You know, we may be denying ourselves of our own individual worth, and that is exactly where that energy can get stuck and can get stagnant. So if we aren't nurturing ourselves enough, if we aren't providing ourselves with enough of our own self-care, then we are blocking that chi or that energy that naturally flows through that particular area. So the breasts kind of fall into what would be considered the heart chakra when we look at our energetic system. So our heart chakra is, as a woman, when we birth a child or we have that connection with our own mother, that's where that comes from, is from our hearts, right? From our heart chakra. So if we aren't nurturing that enough for ourselves or getting that nurturing from our own mother, then that can cause that buildup. So some of the things that we can do are affirmations for ourselves. I am worthy, releasing negative chatter that we say to ourselves, that inner critic that kind of tells us that we're not enough, we're not good enough at being a mom, we're not good enough at being a woman. We need to release those and let those negative programs go. We need to replace them with more positive programs. I am worthy of being a mother. I am worthy of being an amazing woman, an amazing wife, whatever it may be. And really stepping into that and feeling that from deep within ourselves and allowing ourselves to be worthy of all of these beautiful things that makes us a woman. Some things that you can do physically to release that energy that can get stagnant in the breasts are to do physical massages of that lymphatic system. And when you're doing any type of energetic massage, just remember that when you're going counterclockwise, you are releasing energy. And when you are going clockwise, you are adding energy to that area. So if you're doing massage, start with it going counterclockwise and then finish up going clockwise with that. So you're releasing that negative stagnant energy, and then you're reintroducing that positive, uplifting, healing energy. Some other things that you can do to kind of get those lymphatic system moving is rebounding. If you know what rebounding is, it's kind of like when we were kids, we would jump on the big trampoline. Well, rebounding is where you jump on a little trampoline. And what rebounding does is it gets that lymphatic system moving. The lymphatic system is the one system in the body that has to be forced to move and to get flowing. So if we aren't moving properly, maybe we have jobs where we're very, very stagnant and sedentary, that can cause our lymphatic system to get sluggish. And there are a lot of lymph glands and nodes right around the breast area that can get really, really stagnant. So unless we are actually moving that fluid around, then it's kind of getting stuck in those areas. Another thing that you can do that helps with adding that lymphatic system moving is to do what's called dry brushing. So a dry brush is just a brush that is dry, and you can actually do it in the shower before you turn the water on. And what you're going to do is you're just going to do slow strokes up your body. So what you're doing is you're going to be moving that lymphatic system. And anytime you're doing dry brushing, you always want to make sure that you're going towards the heart. So if you're coming up your arm and going back down towards the heart, coming up your back down towards the heart, up from your legs all the way up to your stomach and up towards your heart. So you want to get that circulation running, and you can do that right around the breast area, counterclockwise direction, and then finish it up with a nice clockwise direction. Things that you want to maybe stay clear of that can really clog and congest that breast area is antiperspirants. Many years ago, I stopped using antiperspirants and I started just using natural deodorant. And I know some of you out there might be like, oh, I tried natural deodorant and it wasn't strong enough for me. Keep trying them. Try different brands, because I started out using certain brands and they just weren't strong enough for me either. It was when I was living in Florida and I just felt like I needed a stronger deodorant. And then I actually found a few that are much more effective. If you haven't switched over to using a natural deodorant, I would highly suggest that. Antiperspirants can have aluminum in them, and that aluminum can get stuck in those lymph glands. And if we are putting that right directly there in our armpit and it's going directly into those lymph nodes, that can be very fragile right there, next to the breast area. So another supplement that you can use that can kind of help cleanse out those breasts are chlorella and spirulina, as kind of get in there and pull out any heavy metals or any toxins or things that could cause buildup in that area. You can get tablets, which I actually prefer, or you can get it in a powder form and add it to your smoothies, or you could actually even eat it in the form of seaweed. So that way, if you're really into that, you can do that. But I like the tablet form. I think it's just easy to kind of take first thing in the morning, and that way I'm getting my daily dose of chlorella and spirulina, and I'm also able to detox my body as well. So that's part of the healing process, is to take a look at our relationships with our own mothers and what that looks like. What does the relationship with our mother and our grandmother look like? From an energetic standpoint, we call it the radiant circuit. And the radiant circuit, usually when that's out of whack, it's usually because there's some sort of imbalance with that motherly aspect of ourselves, whether it's the relationship that we have with our mothers, the relationship that we feel as a mother, or the relationship we have with children. So if we are having some sort of imbalance and it comes down to that radiant circuit aspect, that's usually the first place that I go, is to take a look at, well, what does our relationship look like with our own mother or as a mother or with our children? Where is our confidence level in that? Are we, feeling like we aren't enough? Are we feeling like we don't, measure up? Do we feel like we have maybe a dysfunctional relationship with our own mother? And that is an area that will affect our breasts. Oftentimes when we have a physical symptom that comes up in that area, it's an emotional imbalance that happened a whole long time ago. And this could be something that went back generations. Maybe there was issues with the motherly figure or that divine feminine aspect from generations back. And now here we are having it manifest in physical symptoms in our body. and it's time for us to be able to go in there and release that. So some of the ways that I work with people to help release some of those emotions are through several different modalities, like EFT tapping, the emotional freedom technique. It's where you go through and we tap on different acupressure points in the body, and we reprogram the subconscious mind. Another modality that I use is called the emotion code, where I use different techniques where you go in and use what's called applied kinesiology or muscle testing to actually go in and pinpoint what specific emotion that it is that is causing the physical ailment and where it is causing it and when did that particular emotion get trapped in the body. Now, we're all just energy, and when we are not processing or moving these emotions through our body, if we're just stuffing them in, it can cause all of these physical disruptions and disharmony in the body. So you deserve to navigate your life in alignment with health, happiness, and abundance. To learn more about the services that I provide, including Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis, EFT tapping, and the emotion code, visit my website at www.theexistentialempath.com.